You want to know how you can tell that I am a child of the internet? It's because when I hear the name Hocus Pocus, I don't instantly think of this movie, I think of this.
Hocus Pocus, there's pizza on your focus.
I'll see myself out now. Hocus Pocus is the 1993 Disney and Halloween classic that so many generations have grown up loving, me included. When I was a little kid, Halloween was nothing but Hocus Pocus and maybe the newest Halloween special from one of my favorite TV shows. But Hocus Pocus was always a must-have and must-see for this time of season. But as I have gotten older and as a more critical mindset has set in, I have slowly but surely come to like Hocus Pocus less and less and less, and maybe that's because I haven't seen it in a while, but since it was in theaters for its 30th anniversary, I decided to give it another shot and go see it on the big screen for the very first time, and honestly, it is a very, very, very flawed movie. But god damn it, is it entertaining as hell. So the film opens in 17th century Salem, where we see the introduction and execution of hands down the best part of this entire movie, the Sanderson sisters. Winifred, played by Bette Midler, Mary, played by Kathy Najimy, and Sarah, played by Sarah Jessica Parker. These three performances are some of the best comedic performances ever put to screen. This could have gone so wrong so quickly by going too over the top and silly, but the three actresses actually have such pitch-perfect timing and chemistry together that they each have their own distinct characteristics and personalities. You have the oldest sibling who leads the group but is kind of self-centered. You have the middle child who is silly but might secretly be the most emotionally intelligent of the group, and then you have the ditzy youngest sibling who might just be by far the most sadistic of the entire bunch. These three actresses and these three characters make this movie, and of course they are all quotable as hell. What a glorious morning. Makes me sick. But if I'm being honest, because that aspect and those performances are so front and center, it kind of distracts from the rest of the film's best qualities, but also its worst qualities. And we're going to start with that worst quality because even though the Sanderson sisters are played to perfection, everyone else in the movie, the performances from virtually every other actor who are not the Sanderson sisters feels almost lifeless. They lack chemistry, their line readings are dry, and in the case of the main character, Max, they can kind of be annoying. With that said, even though most of the actors are kind of wooden, there are some actors who take that wooden aspect of their performances and bring it to the extreme, like the bullies Jay and Ice in the movie. Halt! Who are you? Max, I just moved here. From where? Los Angeles. LA? Oh, dude, tubular. These bullies, especially Jay, are kind of amazing. He himself is like Johnny and Lisa from The Room had a baby. It is... So Max, his little sister, and his crush go to the Sanderson sisters' house and, just for fun, light the black flame candle, which, when lit by a virgin, revives the Sanderson sisters for one night only. So the Sanderson sisters must retrieve these three main kids and sacrifice them so they can stay alive forever. But this does lead into the middle of the movie, which I do feel is where most of the film's flaws are. First of all, the fish out of water comedy. Sometimes it's fine, and when the comedy is fine, it's mainly because of the delivery of the three actresses. But my god, after about not even 3 minutes of the fish out of water comedy, I just got tired of it. But as all of this is going down, we're introduced to Zachary Binks, a young boy from back in the 17th century who was cursed by the Sanderson sisters with eternal life to be stuck as a cat. And oh boy. I get it was 30 years ago now and they probably weren't working with the highest effects budget, but the effects on this cat are at times atrocious. He looks way too rubbery and glossy, and when he talks and has all of these wide expressions, it looks more like someone deep-faked their face onto a cat. But all of this leads to the sisters trapping our main characters in a party with all of the adults, where they entrance them all by singing "I Put a Spell on You." This scene is not only entertaining as hell, but it's also interesting because it makes sense. Unlike Hocus Pocus 2, where the Sanderson sisters just all of a sudden come out on stage singing one way or another, here they enter into the room where a cover band is already singing "I Put a Spell on You," and you just see Winifred make this look, like she's analyzing the song and the mannerisms of the lead singer. It's such a little moment, but I do really like it. And finally, this leads me into some of my positives of the movie, because I have been trashing on this movie. It does not deserve it. First of all, let's talk about the direction, the cinematography, and the overall atmosphere. It is gorgeous. There are so many bright orange colors in the beginning of the movie that are slowly followed by the more darker Halloween colors. It not only evokes that feeling of fall, but especially invokes that feeling of just Halloween in general when you're a kid. The score is also extremely fun. It is very adventurous, and while it can be cheesy at times, it works well for this 90s nostalgia trip of a film. And the costuming, production design, and makeup are all outstanding. Every single setting has its own personality just through its design. All of the characters' personalities are spoken for due to their dress. Book is literally just a book with an eye on it, but because the leather just seems so almost flesh-like, and because the eye itself is allowed to have so much expression, the character of Book is actually just as fleshed out as most of the main characters. Whether that is a flaw for the main characters or a compliment of Book, that's your take. But by far, the best character in terms of makeup and effects is Doug Jones as Billy Butcherson. This character, in terms of physicality and design, is almost just as entertaining as the Sanderson sisters. My God, Doug Jones, can this man do anything wrong? But at the climax of the movie, when they're in the cemetery and Max makes the trade with Winifred to sacrifice himself over his sister, Winifred mocks him, which just makes me remember Hocus Pocus 2 and just, hate that movie more than I remember hating it. Without my sisters, I am nothing. No, Winifred is not like that. We like Winifred because she is selfish, because she is evil. She mocks Max for his selflessness to save his sister. But at the end of the movie, for some reason, when the Sanderson sisters are dying and Zachary Binks goes into the next life, for some reason the cinematography and the music decides to go as bombastic and epic as possible, which I'm not opposed to, but man, for as cheesy and fun as the rest of the movie just decides to go extremely epic in the last 3 minutes. Including just at the very end, they do the classic drums, bum 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 bum. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's kind of weird, but I guess I like it. And in the end of the day, that's kind of the best way to describe this movie. Are there problems with the film? Undoubtedly. The performances are wooden, the characters are bland, the effects do not hold up, and the fish out of water comedy does get old. But to be fair, the music is great, the makeup and designs are gorgeous, the Halloween atmosphere is rich, and the chemistry between the three witches is iconic. Is it overplayed? In my opinion, yeah, but you can make the same argument for a lot of other films. I mean, I love A Christmas Story, but objectively, Does it need to have a 24-hour marathon on 2 different channels? Objectively speaking, no, but hey, I'm gonna tune in every year, and a lot of people tune into Hocus Pocus every year. Hell, I might even rewatch it constantly myself. I now own it on Blu-ray. Is it a fantastic film? No, but is it the kind of Halloween guilty pleasure that really makes you nostalgic for this time of year? Absolutely. I'm gonna give Hocus Pocus a C+. Again, objectively not a great film, but subjectively ungodly entertaining. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of Hocus Pocus? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or are you somewhere in between? Leave your opinions down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Halloween specials. So don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.